So I thought we would start today with a pretty good proverb. It's an old one. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So today we're going to talk about personal marketing, personal branding. People have talked with me and said, I've been in the industry for 25 years. I have a strong personal brand. That's fantastic. But with the way the industry is changing, a lot of the times customers aren't going the old ways that they used to about 20 years ago. So us having to kind of evolve ourselves and stay up with what the customers are doing, we need to work on our own personal brand. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So happy Motivation Monday. Now, if this is your first Motivation Monday, they are 15 to 30 minute long, quick power-packed episodes here for you to be able to just learn one or two things and jump back into the workday. Now, we're going to go through a tip of the week. We actually have quite a few this week. We're going to do some sales shout-outs, and then, of course, we're going to end with building your own personal brand. So tip number one. Now, on AHCPsales.com, if you have not registered for that, I highly recommend you do so. We have a whole area with all different sales incentives. I pulled up one of the very first ones here and slapped it on there. There's about 5 or 6 going on right now. This one is for the Nat Gen Medi Sup there. And it is to earn a trip to Cabo. Personally, I think it's fairly easy. I'm pretty sure I'm going on this one. So if you sell 100 Nat Gen Medicare supplement policies, they're going to send you to Cabo. You get to hang out with a lot of the leaders there, then at National General. Somebody such as Charlie Harris, if you're talking about somebody who's been in the industry for quite a long time. I might be there. They may have the head of National General there too. It is a fantastic opportunity just to spend a few days, get to know people, and hey, who would not want a free trip to Cabo? The second one, just some random carrier updates for you. IHC, the short term, is now available in South Carolina in 11 months. Of course, every short term in South Carolina there is 11 months according to state laws. IHC Plus Plan is no longer available in Wisconsin. UHC, their tri-term, is now live in those following 6 states on the screen. There is a live training May 1st, so please sign up. Now, if it's been a while since you've been on the training section there at ahcpsales.com, there is a training calendar. It lets you know all the trainings are going on. God, this is just Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. So today we have Healthy Depot. They're doing their term life benefit. There's policy review opportunities. That's going on tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'm really excited for this one, obviously, is the new product launch there. So it's UHC's Tri-Term Medical product there. All you have to do is go onto the calendar, click these hyperlinks, and then they're just going to have you register for training. When it pops up on your calendar, click the link, and you can jump into these trainings. The reason why I say register beforehand, because when you're trying to get ready for the training, if you register, same day, you're going to miss about 5 minutes of the training. So register beforehand. These are all done by the carriers themselves. We've invited so many carriers out there. So take a look at the calendar, run yourself through, and see what's going on out there. So let's take a look at what we're currently selling. So for the week of the 29th, for short-term medical, we really led very heavily with National General. With their new policy changes, we have been loving it. With the limited med, we're doing Foundation Health and, of course, Manhattan Life. With the accidents, we've mainly been selling a ton of plan enhancers. Don't get me wrong, we've dabbled a little bit in United Healthcare there. Critical illness and National General, followed kind of closely behind by Colorado Bankers Life, and then with dental, leading, of course, with Emeritus. Now for our sales leaders, for the short-term medical, Katya, congratulations on leading on short-term medical there. Evan taking second, and Allison taking third. With our limited med, congratulations to James and Loren there. So taking first and second in the limited med category. And Cody Randanzo, you took first in accident, and Andrew Orlikoff, congratulations on taking second. So shout out to all of you leading in the sales. We've been having pretty good sales numbers lately too, which has been fun to watch. So let's jump into your own personal brand. Why is personal branding important? Well, more and more now, people are looking to go out there, build their personal brand, because people won't have you face-to-face like they used to. Most of our sales now done, including Medicare, most of our sales are going to be done over the phone. These people may never meet you if you are licensed in multiple states. How are they going to know who you are? How are they going to know what your footprint is? When we talked about building your marketing, who are you? What is your power statement? These are things that people need to know. So building your own personal brand kind of exudes confidence in you, kind of builds up what you are, how you do it. But the nice thing about having a strong personal brand is a lot of the objections that people get in common phone calls are just done because the person doesn't trust them and doesn't think they're a professional, right? Because things people have to do right away on the first call, they have to like you, they have to trust you and think you're a professional. Liking somebody, great personality might help with that one. But trusting you and thinking you're a professional, if they see these reviews online, if they see that you have a well put together website, that you have a strong brand, that your signature is not 500 random quotes put together, they're going to be able to trust you a little easier. So personal branding is something that's actually very important to me. I do run, obviously, a few other random things than just insurance, and we work really hard on our brands on those. The reasons why we work really hard on our brands is because those are things that draw us to people. I've actually had very recently one of my own personal brands purchased by another company because they loved how well put together it was and didn't want to put the energy into doing it themselves. So when it comes to giving a few tips or tricks, I do know one or two things here. So we'll go through a few hints and a few things that you can walk away with. So when you think of personal brands, let's go through some of the big ones. First off, Nike, right? When you see that Nike swoosh, first off, they paid less than $100 for just that brand alone. What do you think of? Success, athletes, speed. When we think of go to old Mercedes, right? One of my favorites there. When you think of Mercedes, luxury, class, status, right? If you think of McDonald's, it's quick. It's consistency, right? You're in and out the door there. And then if you think of Apple here, modern, technology, right? Sleek, innovative. Now, these are all just small symbols. Looking at those symbols actually has something happen internally to you. Your brain clicks on right away and puts things together, saying, hey, you know what? When I see Nike, I know it's going to be an athlete. When I see McDonald's, I know it's going to be quick, right? I mean, it's not the good old Jimmy John's freaky fast, but still kind of the same thing. When you see Apple, you know it's going to be kind of innovative. It's going to be something new. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be easy to use. Your own personal brand, when it gets up and running, should be able to do the same thing as these symbols, right? They should be able to give your client a quick idea what's going to happen. The other thing behind it is that they can do association, right? So a good, strong personal brand, you're going to be able to be associated with success, with knowledge as well. So when it comes to personal branding here, the nice thing is it's going to help you be seen as an expert. I was working with a few law offices recently on their branding, and it was kind of interesting because these law offices have been around probably 30 plus years, and nothing has changed. They're saying, why aren't we getting more customers in our doors? What is your presence, right? Don't get me wrong, you're very knowledgeable. In the old days, a lot of it was word of mouth. Not saying word of mouth still isn't there. It's just the way word of mouth has changed, right? It's still word of mouth, right? Those referrals are our best leads, but those referrals now come from online. Whereas before, it'd be somebody in a bar just talking, saying, hey, you know what? I just got out of prison and this guy was amazing. You should use this attorney. Now someone's going to post online, hey, just got out of prison. This guy's a great attorney. You should use him. So these help you be seen as an expert and helps you build relationships before you even start. Thing about personal branding really quick is you need to keep it personal, relatable, but yet professional. I was working with an insurance agency actually in the Midwest, and their personal brand was just, they said they're quirky, right? And there's nothing wrong with being quirky. I'm a quirky person myself, but you got to keep it professional, right? They took the personal branding just a little too far. Just to the point where it's like, if I saw this as a customer, I'd say, you probably don't know what you're doing. Health insurance is very important to me because it's not only my health security, but it's also my financial security for my family. What you show makes a statement. And then, of course, it's going to help you evolve with changes, right? So when there are changes going on in the market, the strong personal brand can help you go through that. And again, what you show is going to make a statement, right? So kind of like what I said about that agency there in the Midwest, what they're showing was making a statement, but I don't think it was the statement that they wanted to make. If you ever are working on your personal brand, one of the best things to do is talk to a good friend or family and just show it to them, like, what are your thoughts on this? I saw this online. Play just naive. I saw this online. What are your thoughts on this? And if they say, wow, that looks trashy, it looks trashy. So, okay, we're going to start with how do you build a personal brand, right? So first off, create your own website and logo, right? Your website and logo are going to be your own presence. So create your own brand, right? My name's Dan, so it could be Dan Insurance Group. Dan Affordable Health Insurance by Dan. Something quick, easy. You only want it to be 3 or 4 words, first off, because if you have a super long name, no one's going to care. No one's going to remember it unless it makes a really fun acronym, right? A super fun acronym, great. But if you take a look at some of the strongest brands out there, Nike, 1 word. McDonald's, 1 word. Mercedes-Benz, 2 words. So just kind of making a point there. I've worked with people who literally have websites that have like 82 words long, and you're saying there's no way I can remember it, and I'm trying to help you here. Clients can't see you, right? So obviously there's going to be pictures of yourself on there, but it's also when you build the consistency in just what your logo is, that way when your client gets something in the mail, they're going to have a strong association to you, right? That this is a good thing, not a bad thing. It builds credibility. Now you say, hey, you know what? I have been in the industry for 20 years. I don't have any instructional design experience. My kids went to school to be a doctor and a nurse. They have no experience in that as well. Gotcha, not a problem. There are about 100 different resources out there. There's a really good website called Fiverr. What that does is it gives you the opportunity to bid online for materials. So what you say is, hey, I'm looking for a logo. Here's kind of my statement. Here's what I like aesthetically. It sends it out into the world. There's actually a lot of college students, not joking you, college students, and random graphic designers. You say how much you're willing to pay. Say, hey, you know what? Like for me, I've done a logo on there, and I paid $25, which is actually one of the more expensive ones on there. And I had a couple hundred different designs to pick from. When you pick, they give the person the money then. So, hey, guess what? You get a great logo out of the deal. There are people who will make you little pictures on there. There's also ways to do websites. Those might run you about $100, a couple $100 there. They're going to make you buy a domain, so they'll walk you through how to go buy a domain. But you need to have these to kind of start up. We do have pretty good resources as well on our website on how to go about doing some of these. It's going to help you differentiate yourself, right? So we talked when it came to marketing, what is your ideal client, right? Who do you want to work with? Medicare, families, small groups, individuals, small business owners. Not saying that's the only person you're going to work with, but where is something that you want to start specializing in? These brands are going to help you do that. I'm going to bring up Medicare, guys. This is the biggest buzzword in the industry right now, Medicare. So you want to work with Medicare people, great. Build out a website about it because, funny enough, I was working with a very close friend and family member 2 days ago, and she was trying to work on Medicare benefits, and I'm the person who they're going to call, let's be honest. So I just sat there and kind of played naive and watched her go around doing it and just pulling up the different websites about it. And she's like, this person looks completely lost. This person's way too young. Just how judgmental people can be, right? So you will need to structure your website a little different off of who your ideal client is, right? Small business owners are going to want to see that you're a small business owner. They want that. Small groups are going to see that you have experience. People who are working in Medicare are going to see that you can keep it simple and basic because Medicare can be very confusing, and that you're helpful. Work off of the product that you know best. Maybe you are the leader in the short-term market. Maybe you are the best fixed benefit person out there. And also watch trends. Now, if you're not watching trends that are going on in the health insurance industry, I highly recommend it. There are tons of Facebook groups out there about health insurance and just what's going on. Huge law changes have happened, right? So Trump took away the 3-month. Then he's going to let us do back-to-back. Those are giant. The big trends that are going on in Medicare with F&G right now, these are things that you can talk about that are going to draw people to your site. Now, why did I start with the logo? Because when you start with a logo, that's what your foundation needs to be, right? Because after that, you're going to have to go out, make the website, right? So you get the logo, you're going to make the website, and the website should have obviously everything going on with your logo. And that should all work around who you want to work with, because then you're going to start the networking with other strong brands. So when it comes to being networking with other strong brands, find people who are relatable in industries but not identical. That's the most important part. So CPAs, had a friend who started working with CPAs. They actually put an office for him inside one of their buildings. Property and casualty. I work with a group of property and casualty agents right now that have not a clue about it, but they're just like every health and life lead I get. Life agents, people who specialize solely in life and annuities, they may not want to sell health because it's not a big enough sale because they work in law of large numbers, law of large commissions, where we work in law of large numbers, where we just want to get more clients up and up and up and running, where them client every week might be fine. And then groups and activities, right? So you want to get out there, do groups and activities, but most importantly is you want to network with other strong brands. Why? Because you want them to put their website on the bottom of yours and vice versa, right? If you don't be the person who specializes in everything, because then you actually specialize in nothing. This way, when you go through and somebody has a property and casualty question, you can have a referral part on your website for them. So they can just get kicked over and right back at the other person. So I get this question all the time, like, how do you properly use social media? So here's one of the things with social media. First off, you got to use the social media that is going to catch the right consumers. So again, if you are working on Medicare, Facebook is actually extremely great for that, because the Facebook population has aged fairly drastically. If you are working with people who are more small business, YouTube's actually very popular. You'd be shocked at what people YouTube trying to figure out. If you want to work with younger millennials, let's say, Instagram's the place to be. Now, if you want to work again with maybe small groups, LinkedIn is a very good, useful resource for you. The reason why I'm saying, hey, you know what, just don't go out there. Don't make it. I mean, sure, make a Facebook, make an Instagram. Your Instagram can cross post on your Facebook. But if you go out and make too many, here's the thing that I see happen every day. So when you go through, pick one or two and really dedicate yourself to it, because people go through and pick all of them and then they don't update on any of them, because updating on one or two, that's going to take you a couple hours a week. Updating on 4 or 5, that's super unrealistic. I'll tell you what I do just with the market that I mainly work at. I actually have an Instagram and I do cross post it on my Facebook. So with Instagram, you have to think of a kind of what your account name is, right? And so with your account name, it should be similar to what your logo is, and you can go through and build your Instagram. Best way to go get people is just like and follow everything, right? The thing with social media is you have to give people a reason to follow you. Let's go back to one of the law firms I worked with recently. They had every social media on the face of the planet. I'm not kidding you. It was slightly ridiculous. Some I haven't heard of. And they posted every other month. They're saying, why do we only have 6 people who are liking our posts? Well, you're not consistent. The thing with social media, and the downside of it is that you have to stay relevant, which means you have to post quite often and get in people's faces. So with those, say pick 1 or 2 and post about it. Now with your posts, don't post stupid things, because again, I'm going back to one of those law firms. I was working with them, and their posts were just completely out of left field, had nothing in relation to law. Take them all down. Why should people follow you? Give them a reason to follow you. Post about something that is relevant. Now, there's a really good one insurance agent. He's out of Chicago that I follow, and his posts are so completely relevant because his titles of his posts leave you questioning. Like, do you know what you're financially leaving on the table not having an accident plan? As somebody who's been doing accident plans for a very long time, I'm like, maybe I don't. I should click this. Even someone in the industry is clicking it because of how well he posts that. So you got to keep consistent and actually build yourself out a calendar for posting on social media. Legitimately, a calendar. You can Google best times to post on social media. In the near future, I'm actually having someone who specializes in social media going to join us for one of these, and she's going to go through and explain what her strategies are for posting it. She runs a LinkedIn, an Instagram, and a Facebook for a health brokerage, actually. The next one is brand promise. So why is this important? Because this is going to be something that's on all your social media, on your website, and potentially in your signature. So your brand promise is a single sentence about how it works and what will you do. So these are something that's quick and to the point on what do you do as an agent? What do you actually specialize in, right? Here's an example. I provide outstanding, accurate information to small business owners to help protect the asset they value most, their family. I wrote that one. You can feel free to steal it. I was thinking, like, so what is, if I wanted to work best specifically with small businesses, since a lot of us like it, right? It's like hunting whales once you get one. It's amazing. What would I do? Well, I need to provide accurate information to small business owners, right? Because if you provide inaccurate information, that's going to hurt them. So I thought, logically, first off, what is it that I'm going to do? Who is it I'm going to work with? And what is it will I do for them? So I'm going to provide accurate information to work with small business owners and protect their assets. Think about that. That's how those sentences should be structured. And you can absolutely put this in your signature. Now, I keep harping on signatures because I get emails all day long from people just asking basic questions. And I love helping. But I will respond if your signature is kind of trashy and let you know. They're saying, hey, your signature is extremely busy. As a client, if you have a quote from Martin Luther King, a quote from Gandhi, a quote from one of our presidents, as well as all the things that you do, all the state your license in and everything that's going on, your signature is useless because I'm not going to look at any of it. Your eyes, just let you know, naturally make a Z when you read. So you start with the upper left, go to the upper right, lower left, lower right. So funny enough, the stuff in the middle, which is usually the most important stuff in signatures, which is like your phone number, your email address, and the state you're licensed in, a lot of clients skip over right away and they go right to your quote from Gandhi. So again, I try to make my signature important, quick, sweet, to the point, and have my logo at the bottom because I want them to see my logo as much as possible. And then again, consistency. So I talked with social media. Create yourself a calendar. You need to be posting every other day, every day if you can find enough material. And health insurance, I understand that can be hard. Also, finding people who can give you good things or good references that you can post are always extremely useful. Obviously, you can't use their name or exact information because HIPAA, right? So if you can find clients that information that you can post about. So if you have a client who says, "Wow, you're amazing. You helped me with this claim. You saved my family $90,000." Obviously, ask, "Hey, do you care if I clean out your personal information and post this online?" Things like that are extremely useful. One of the law firms I was working with, I told them, when you close a really great case, let's clean out your client information. Let's start posting information online on what kind of stuff you've done. And they've actually gotten a lot of new clients recently just over that. So again, persistency, first off, is a huge thing. Consistency and persistency. Never give up. I'll tell you with social media, the payoff is not strong in the beginning. But it's huge once you get it up and running. For all the different ones that I have made out there, I will tell you my first month or two, I'm just so impatient just because I'm a salesperson. I want to get my reward right away, right? I want to close a deal and make my money now. So with it, persistency. So create your calendar, just consistently keep doing it, never give up, and don't be afraid to go above and beyond, right? Not saying go above and beyond and do every social media. That will be a waste of time, but just don't give up and keep trying hard. Now, just to let you know, all of these are recorded. They are posted on our YouTube channel as well as in our training section there at ahcpsales.com. Click on training, and then there'll be the pre-recorded training, so click on that. If you do have questions about this, you can always email at training@ahcpsales.com or call our agency services. They do have a good list of resources that we built out for you guys a couple years ago there, and then that's at the 877-228-8773. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, but if not, everybody, have a great Monday.